your willpower is not going to surpass your environment. You can beat your chest to it as much as you want, but at the end of the day, if you are struggling and you always find a way to get back to where you started, a big factor of that is because your environment is not so conducive. If your friends are all stuck, it's no wonder you're stuck. Stuck people stay stuck and they keep everyone around them stuck. You cannot out willpower your environment. It's not possible. What's going on, friends? I hope you are well. Welcome back to another episode of Dieting from the Inside Out, because we all know outer work without inner work just doesn't work, and we have to attack this thing from the inside out. So that's what we're doing here, and I appreciate your time. Be sure, before we get going, be sure to subscribe to the show if you aren't already doing so, because I want you to know whenever something really good happens and when we drop new episodes, and I got some really dope guests coming down the pipeline. So if you haven't already, please be sure and subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to it on. We're on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. I think like I don't know, like 12 other platforms that I've never heard of. So I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So be sure and subscribe to the show. Now, before we get into all the goodies, because today we're talking about fat loss foundations, because at the end of the day, I want to show you from a foundational standpoint, excuse me, how to get to where you want to be. I want to show you how to get over this hump and how to lose your next like 30, 40 pounds, but without hating your life, without gaining it back, and without just suffering, because most people feel like they either have to be happy and all good, and they never get to where they want to be, or they can lose the weight, but they're probably not keeping it off, and they're probably going to give up everything they love in their life, their favorite food, their favorite experiences, their favorite memories, all of those things. And that's not how it has to be. So that's what we're getting into today, is talking about the exact fat loss foundations for you. Okay. Now, before we get into all that, we do have to thank the sponsors of the show, because they mean so much to us. The sponsor number one is Flex Pro Meals. It's funny. People tell me all the time they want to not have to think it all about food, which like I get, but the only way to truly not think about food is literally have it arrive at your door and someone hand it to you. So that's what Flex Pro does, to be honest. So if you're looking to have your meals a little more streamlined, where you're maybe cooking a little bit less or having to prep a little bit less, but you want to make sure that the foods are dialed in for your goals and still taste amazing, that's really where Flex Pro comes in. So, you can choose, use my code. It's going to save you some money at checkout. If you go to flexpromeals.com or use my code Hamilton Trained at checkout, you can save like 20%, which is pretty dope. They're already more affordable than going to like a drive-through. I'm pretty sure like every time I go to the Chipotle, I'm dropping like $18 a meal, which is just absurd to me. So Flex Pro definitely is cheaper than Chipotle, but it's going to be way better for your goals and things like that. So definitely check them out. Sponsor number two is not Flex Pro Meals. We just did that. Sponsor number two is First Form, because we talk about it all the time. Supplements are exactly what their name says. It is to supplement. Supplements are not the foundation of a program. You should be not. Well, I'm telling you, this is like the third time me recording this podcast or this intro. So bear with me here. I don't know. I've been saying for a few days now, my brain and mouth are bickering and not getting along. So my words have been getting tied up a little bit. But what I was saying is, when it comes to supplements, you should not be spending more money on supplements than you are on groceries. You should not be having everything come down to all these supplements you're taking. And the truth is, most people have it totally backwards. Supplements are just to supplement what you're missing with food. That's it. If you're not getting enough protein, supplement. If you're all inflamed and you're not having enough anti-inflammatory foods, supplement. If you're not getting your micros in like your micronutrients, like your vitamins and minerals, supplement. If you need more energy, supplement. If you're not recovering enough, supplement. Right? That's what supplements are for. But not all supplements are created equal. A lot of the supplements are like riddled with lawsuits, or the label's inaccurate, or the ingredients aren't safe, or they're low quality ingredients. And I want to make sure that you get the best possible. So that's why we work with First Form. So you can hit the link below. There's some free shipping stuff going on. But that way you can get your needs taken care of and your money isn't wasted. So definitely give that a look into. Now let's get into fat loss foundations, because I'm super pumped to talk to you about this one. Now, if you're watching the YouTube video, because we do have all these streamed on YouTube, not streamed, but we all do have all these uploaded on YouTube. If you see me looking around, it's because I want to make sure I'm covering everything, and I took a little bit more notes than normal. So let's talk about the foundational stuff, because you have to understand the faster you can look at your transformation and you trying to lose this weight and keep it off, the more like a house, the better off you'll be. Because too often, so many people, I'll go, well, let me ask you, if I could just snap my fingers and I can just make the 30 or 40 pounds disappear, would it stay off? Most people go, oh, well, no, because I'd revert back to old behaviors. I would sabotage. I would all these things. Right. Well, my question is, if you just said magic genie powers wouldn't solve your problems, why are we trying to white knuckle through weight loss? We need to fix the foundational pieces of this. And I know lately we have a lot of new listeners to the show. We have a lot of new members to our community. So, I thought it would be good to have an episode where we're talking about more on a foundational level on how to get to where you want to be, how to lose your next 30, 40 pounds without your life sucking, without gaining it back, and how to actually go through this from like a core pillars side. So I actually have 4 pillars of this, 4 pillars of your fat loss foundations. Okay. Here's the thing. We're going to get right into it. So pillar number 1 is what I call setting yourself up for success. Most people are actually not setting themselves up for success at all. Most people actually fail right out the gate because of everything from their habits, their expectations, and everything that's going into this. I mean, it's like, imagine you sending your kid off to school, or they're in school, but they're being taught 2 + 2 = 17. Well, you're just fucking that kid up already out the gate. That teacher would be setting that kid up for failure because of the wrong information, or because the expectations are totally off. Or imagine if you were going to give birth, like and the doctor said, yeah, you should be ready to go in 3 months. An average pregnancy is 3 months. Well, last time I checked, it's like 9 months. So imagine though, like the confusion and the overwhelm and the, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this baby? It's not ready to come out, or whatever the case is. It's setting up that person for failure out the gate. And most people are not set up for success with the world of weight loss. So that's what we're going to talk about in this first pillar. So I really have 3 subcategories to pillar number 1 with setting yourself up for success. Number 1 is your expectations. I am telling you, expectations is the biggest and beefiest, most unsexy thing no one wants to talk about. Because at the end of the day, if you have an issue with something, it's because your expectations were off. Think of it this way. I mean, imagine, think of like a really grotesque analogy. When we expect a loved one to die, we handle it better when we expect them to die and we see it coming versus we're blindsided. Like even in my family, my grandma and grandpa died around the same time, like within a year of each other, I believe. Well, my grandpa was in really ill health. We totally thought my grandpa was going to pass away. Like me and all my other cousins were like at the hospital, like ready to say goodbye to grandpa. Well, then and he actually did not pass away yet. But then my grandma went in for a routine surgery and she never woke up. Out of nowhere, it was like, boom, grandma was gone. And we were all like, holy shit. We got blindsided by it. We were expecting grandpa to go and grandma passed away. And because of the expectation of we were expecting grandpa, but grandma went, it was a little bit harder to like, holy shit. Versus when my grandpa died, we kind of saw it coming. Now, don't take that out of context. Death sucks across the board. You know, grandmas and grandpas and loved ones passing away is not fun in general. But when you see it coming, it is way easier to process when it's totally blindsided. And that's an expectation thing. If you think about it, when you have a bad experience, it's when your expectations were something different. So when most people go into weight loss and they're trying to change their life, expectations are off. I had a lady DM me the other day, and this is an extreme example. She messaged me and she goes, hey, how do I lose 94 pounds in the next 8 weeks? And I'm like, that's impossible. Like, she was legitimate. Like, I'm not trying to poke fun. I'm just using an example. She literally thought she could lose 94 pounds in 8 weeks. Like, you'd have to start cutting limbs off. Like, that's not even you could, if you starved and dehydrated yourself and did not die, you still couldn't lose that amount of weight in 8 weeks. So, but it's an expectations thing. Or we see people who say, oh, Jared, I just haven't seen drastic progress yet. And it's been like 2 months. I'm like, bro, it's been 60 days. You're not supposed to have seen drastic progress yet. So you have to get your expectations in check. And some of these expectations look like what actual fat loss progress looks like. Amazing fat loss progress is right around 0.5 pound to a pound a week lost consistently. Over average down over months and months and months and months. Like, you're not going to lose weight every single week. That's another expectation. Weight loss isn't linear. But if you were to average, if you were to like over the, let's say 6 to 12 months, like amazing fat loss progress is around 0.5 pound to a pound lost per week, averaged out. But most people go, oh, holy shit. So in 12 weeks, I've only lost like 6 pounds. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking fantastic. Right? That's right at 0.5 pound a week. Right. And that's the thing is most people who are upset is because their expectations were off. So you have to get your expectations in check. Things like weight loss is not going to be linear. You're not going to lose weight every single week. Things like 0.5 pound to a pound per week lost is great fat loss progress, let alone if you have other issues going on. Things like you should not be in a consistent deficit until you lose your desired amount. You should go through maintenance periods and diet breaks. Things like you're not going to be motivated all the time. You're going to think you're gaining weight. You're going to think this isn't working. You're going to feel like you should be further ahead. These are conversations we have all the time because we have to get your expectations in check. The scale is going to spike when it's not body fat. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to want to quit, and it doesn't mean anything bad. Your eyes and mind are going to play tricks on you, convincing you that you're not making progress when you are. These are the kinds of expectations you have to have in check if you want to have any chance of getting on the other side of this, okay? Number 2 under setting yourself up for success is sustainability. I know it's not a sexy buzzword like warp speed fat loss or rapid fat loss protocol or whatever, but this has to be sustainable. You have to understand if the journey is unsustainable, the results won't be either. If what you're doing, you cannot do for the next decade of your life, you shouldn't be doing it. Now, don't take this out of context. Are you going to be tracking calories forever? No. Are you going to be in a diet phase forever? No. But you should set your program up. You should set your plan up as if you were. Like the best way to set your plan up is if I were to say, hey, you got to do what you're about to do for the next 20 years of your life, and you're never going to be motivated, ever. Set your plan up. That's probably the plan that you should do because I'm more concerned about keeping your head above water on your low days, on the days where you're not feeling very good or you want to throw in the towel because your best days will take care of themselves. I'm not worried about getting your best day better. I'm worried about bringing up the floor on your worst days. That's it. But at the end of the day, this has to be sustainable. If your plan is not sustainable, don't even touch it. Most people, it blows me away still, will try to do they say to me, they'll go, oh, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to follow this less sustainable approach right now because I really want the weight off. And then once I lose it, I'm going to switch to sustainability. Give me one example in life where that works. I'm going to cheat all through high school and then I'm going to get my shit together in college and somehow know everything. Right? Or I'm going to be a degenerate asshole with all of my dating history. And then I'm actually going to buckle down and be serious about this one person when I'm tired of fucking around. Right? Like the truth is that shit doesn't happen, or if it does, it's rare as fuck. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we have to make sure what we're doing is practical and sustainable for the long term. Otherwise, to be honest, if we could do something that's not sustainable and then flip to sustainability, we would all do drugs, lose all of our weight, then quit taking drugs and be like, all right, I'm good now, but it would all come right back. I was talking to someone the other day that was doing Optavia or one of the Nutrisystem or one of the plans where they send you your food and they're like, yeah, I'm losing all this weight. And I go, cool. Do you want to buy their food forever? And they go, well, no. I go, what do you think is going to happen when you quit buying their food? They go, you think I'll gain it back? I go, why wouldn't you? If I quit brushing my teeth every day, would I get cavities? Well, yeah. Well, that's exactly what's going to fucking happen. Because this is why it blows me away. I hear people I'll be waiting in line to get my hair cut at the hair stylist place. And I'll hear the conversations. People are like, oh, well, as soon as I stopped following keto, I gained all my weight back. I'm like, well, yeah, no shit. Because you stopped doing the things that got you there. So then that tells me we have to keep doing the things that got you there. It's why you've committed to brushing your teeth till you die. It's why you go to work every single day. It's why you consistently clean your house, because as soon as we stop doing the things that got us to the result we want, the result will go away. Imagine imagine you stop going to work, then being surprised that your boss quit paying you. He's like, no, you quit showing up, so I quit compensating you. So if you quit showing up in your actions, it's no wonder your results will stop compensating you. It's no different here, which means you have to do the shit forever. So my question is, what can you do forever? It should probably be minimalistic. It should probably be chill. It should probably be relaxed. It probably shouldn't be extreme. You should probably eat your favorite foods. You should probably take this nice and easy. This is the lens we have to look at this through. I'm hoping some of you that are listening are having these aha moments of holy shit, I guess this is why I've never made it. Okay, so sustainability is everything. And number 3, under setting yourself up for success is your mindset and inner game. This is an area most people, most coaches, most plans totally negate because it's gross and no one likes to talk about it and no one has tactical plans around it. But here with Dieting from the Inside Out, this is our bread and butter. This is literally what I love to talk about the most. You have to address your headspace, your mindset, and your inner game. Your inner workings is the foundation of who you are. Your identity, your beliefs, your character, the story you replay over and over again, your sabotaging mechanisms, your triggers, your emotions. That's the foundation of who you are. And if you don't address these things, nothing on the surface is going to matter. You could have the biggest, baddest, nastiest mansion, but you put it on sand and it's probably a bad idea because there's no foundation there. But for some reason, if you have a slab of concrete that's solid and level, you can put any house you want on it. It's no different in weight loss. You have to have a good foundation. If your foundation is not in a good place, it doesn't matter what you do, you will crumble. And this is why so many people just switch to a diet. They're like, oh, this is it. And then crumbles. And they're like, oh, well, it must have been not the right diet. I'm going to do this diet. And they literally go from diet to diet to diet to diet, and it all fails. I've even seen people do this with sustainable plans. I've seen people do this with my free programs or with coaches that I know who are great coaches. And they're like, oh, nothing worked. And I go, it's because you never fix your foundation. So every house you build crumbles. You have to fix your mindset, your headspace, and your inner game. This has to do with all those things I mentioned, your identity. This has to do with your beliefs, your triggers, your relationship with food, your sabotaging mechanisms, all of these different things. It's a laundry list. But if you don't address them, nothing will matter. You'll get about that much success and it'll be ripped from you. It's why, like, you see this in every area. You'll see like someone who always is getting married. They've had like 4 or 5 husbands or wives. It's because they didn't fix the foundational pieces of them. That's right. When you see someone who has had more partners than anything else, and you go, must be something about them. You're right. It's a foundational issue with them. Their communication, their expectations, their character, their whatever. It's no different here. Okay. So that is pillar number 1, setting yourself up for success, expectations, sustainability in your mindset and inner game. Okay. Next, pillar number 2 with fat loss foundations is your nutrition. Okay. Because again, fat loss is not going to happen if your mouth isn't in check. So number 1 under nutrition is we have to make sure you're in a calorie deficit. It blows me away how many people, it's interesting. Let me take a step back. It blows me away how many people don't realize you have to be in a calorie deficit, but I also know, like, for years I was beating the calorie deficit drum way too loud because that wasn't very helpful either. Where someone's like, I can't lose weight. And I go, calorie deficit. Well, I still can't lose weight. Well, you're not in a calorie deficit. It wasn't very helpful. And looking back now, I shouldn't have been beating that drum so hard. Maybe use the education of calorie deficit, but then helping people do a better job at getting into a calorie deficit. But at the end of the day, with your nutrition, if you are not in a calorie deficit, you will never lose an ounce. You will not lose any weight. People are like, well, Jared, I'm eating healthy, but I'm not losing weight. Well, it's because you're eating too much of the quote unquote healthy foods. Or someone's like, Jared, I switched to vegan and I'm still gaining weight. I'm like, because you're eating vegan friendly foods in excess quantities. Or someone will say, Jared, I'm following keto or fasting or whatever their plan is. Excuse me. And they're still not losing weight. It's because you're not in a calorie deficit. A lot of times people don't realize it's still a math game. You have to take in less calories than what your body burns. It's just like if you wanted to save money, you have to make a money deficit. You have to spend less than what you earn. In no world can I spend more than what I earn, regardless of what I spend that money on, and save money. Well, I donated it to charity. Well, I paid off this debt. Well, I put it in this account. Well, it doesn't matter. You still made $5,000 and you spent $6,000. There's no way around that. It's the same thing with calories. Calories are just a unit of energy, regardless of what that energy is made up of, whether it's sugar, protein, gluten-free food, or little Debbie cakes. It doesn't matter. So calorie deficit is the king of fat loss. If you're not in a calorie deficit, it doesn't matter what your plan is, it will not work. Okay. Number 2 under the nutrition pillar is we have to prioritize protein and whole foods. Now, just because calories are king doesn't mean what those calories are made up of doesn't matter. Could you eat, and this pisses people off, could you eat your calorie deficit from Pop-Tarts and gummy bears and lose weight? Absolutely. You can do that. It's not practical. It's not sustainable. And you would look and you would still feel like shit. You would be hungry as hell because of how calorie dense that stuff is. And then you just wouldn't feel good at anything like that. But you can. It literally comes down to math. But just because it just comes down to calories in versus calories out doesn't mean what those foods are made up of doesn't matter, because what those foods are made up of has definitely different effects from like a vitamins and minerals standpoint, a satiety level and how full you're feeling, the energy that you're getting, things like that. But this is where people turn into assholes. They turn into like weight loss assholes and they go to extremes. They're either like, no, I've got to eat all perfect, all clean, all healthy, no sugar, no processed anything, which isn't practical because like date night and birthday cake is pretty dope. Or they go to the other extreme and they're like, oh, if it fits my calories, or, like that's when like the IIFYM crowd, the if it fits your macros crowd comes in, where they're eating Pop-Tarts and gummy bears exclusively all day, every day. But it meets their calories or macros, versus there's a magic in the middle where the majority of your calories and the majority of your food should be coming from better quality, more nutritious, whole, real food that fills you up, makes you feel really good, and that satisfies you. But that doesn't mean you can't have every single day, let's say 20% of your food from whatever the fuck you want, right? I view this no different than money. You probably spend the majority of your income on responsible purchases, paying off debt, food, your house, your pets, your normal bills, that stuff, savings, but you probably spend a little bit of money on bullshit that you don't need because you can afford it. It's no different with this. So calorie deficit, number one, but then we need to prioritize protein and whole foods, number two. Okay. Number three, this is some stuff not a lot to talk about. Number three under nutrition is we need to have you get away with eating as much as possible while losing. A lot of people, I was just having a conversation with someone applying for coaching with this conversation. Most people who are trying to lose weight jump straight to what I call a race to the bottom. They're like, how little can I eat? How fast can I lose the weight? Oh, can I get away with eating 1,200 calories? Things like that. But that would be like your boss trying to say, hey, what's the least amount I can pay you and still get you to perform well? Like, no one likes that, right? Some of you guys have bosses that are like that. But that's not okay. Or that would be like me saying, how shitty can I treat my wife and have her not divorce me? It's not okay. You should be trying to get away with eating as much as possible while losing. It's going to help your metabolism. It's going to help your happiness. It's going to help your sanity. It's going to help your sustainability. And it's going to help your entire journey as a whole, getting away with seeing how much you can eat. I was just talking to a member of our community the other day, and she thought she had to eat. I'm actually doing a live training with her here in a few weeks in our group, but she's crushing it like crazy. She was eating like really low calories. Like, I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say like 1,300 or 1,400 calories a day. And then she found out, like, a lot of you guys know who Ashley is in that our CSM in our community. Ashley always talks about her maintenance phases and how she was able to like double her calories and lose 40 pounds when she was a client. And then that opened up this community member's eyes, and she goes, maybe I should try that. She's eating like 1,900, 2,000 calories a day now and losing weight. It's because she goes, I thought I only could eat 1,300 or 1,400 calories. Well, Ashley doubled her calories and lost weight. Maybe I should try that. And she's now eating like 1,900, 2,000 calories a day and losing weight still. And now her happiness and her results and her success is astronomical because of all of that. Because that's how she's doing it, because it's sustainable now. It's so much easier. So that's why you should be trying to eat as much as possible while losing. It's a game changer. Okay. Next, you need also both carbs and fats. At the end of the day, you need all three macros. Like, at the end of the day, even if like you don't quote unquote need carbs for survival, like a lot of people say, because you're right, you don't need them for survival, but I mean, they're pretty dope to have. Like, just because you don't need something for survival doesn't mean that it's not beneficial, and that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have it, and that doesn't mean that it won't serve you. At the end of the day, it's really important. I always say carbs are essential for sustainability, though. Because at the end of the day, you have to be able to make this practical for your life, and carbs really help with that. So you need both carbs and fats, so don't avoid either of them. This is why calories king, protein queen, and then let your carbs and fats fall wherever they fall. Okay. And then lastly, under nutrition, you need to eat your favorite foods. You need to incorporate your favorite foods every single day. Otherwise, this is going to lead to binge eating, sabotage, emotional eating, and all these things. Because if you're depriving yourself of your favorite foods, these cravings will build up and you'll have a fuck it moment. And again, you can have your favorite foods within your calories. That's what's cool. There's nothing wrong. Like last night, I was really wanting like this, they're called a Reese's Fast Break. They're the best Reese's product. So I had like 300 calories worth of Reese's Fast Break. Gas station, grabbed it, we're good. Didn't fuck with my plan. It didn't throw me off. It doesn't store fat because it's in my calories, and it satisfied the craving. You can and should do the exact same thing. Okay. All right. So we're 2 pillars in. We got pillar number 3 now. So we talked about pillar 1 for Fat Loss Foundation, setting yourself up for success. Number 2 has been nutrition. Number 3, training. Okay. When it comes to the training piece of your foundations, you need to, 1, be doing fundamental strength training. You should not be doing what I call crazy back kickflip, fancy dancy workouts like Bosu ball, single leg squat, jump spinny, calisthenic, weird shit. No, stop it. You don't need any of that. You need basic fundamental strength training, like 2 to 3, 4 days a week, between 2 and 4 days a week for most people. We got clients doing it 2 days a week crushing. We got people doing 4. But that's really it. You need basic fundamentals. This should not be an exciting or a fancy process. This is why I'm not a fan of like beach body workouts. This is why I'm not a fan of like the crazy fancy kick flip, spinny, flashy workouts. The majority of what you should be doing from a training standpoint should be the fundamentals: pushing, pulling, like squatting, hinging. That's it. Like that it should not be fancy. It should not be extreme. It should be very kind of boring and monotonous. It should be very fundamental, where you're getting strong, you're preventing yourself from getting injured, and you're moving your body stronger and way better. And then these movements are practical in real life, like when you pick up your groceries, you're not throwing your back out, things like that. So you need to be doing basic fundamental strength training like 2 to 4 days a week. And then as a whole, you should probably just be moving more. Like go on more walks, park further away at the grocery store, things like that. That's what this is about. That's the training piece. Don't make it more complicated than it should be. Don't think that you've got to do more to speed things up. Just assume you shouldn't be speeding things up in general at all. At the end of the day, you should not be trying to speed up what's meant to be slow. And just with the training piece, all you're trying to do is fundamental strength training and moving a little bit more. That's it. And lastly, foundation number 4 is accountability and support. Here's the truth. From a foundational standpoint, for you changing your life, you have got to have some semblance of support and accountability, because 1, it does take a village. Fully believe it takes a village. And number 2, your environment influences you more than you can possibly imagine. Dare I say it, your willpower is not going to surpass your environment. You can say it how much you can beat your chest to it as much as you want, but at the end of the day, if you are struggling and you always find a way to get back to where you started, most of the time it's because a big factor of that is because your environment is not so conducive, right? If your friends are all stuck, it's no wonder you're stuck. If your friends are all like extremists or all or nothing people, it's no wonder that maybe what you're doing. You see what I mean? So you have to understand that at the end of the day, you need a level of accountability and support with this, because we become like those we associate with. There's no way around that. It's the law of association. It's down to our DNA and protein expressions. We become exactly like those we associate with. This is why you'll see a good kid start hanging out with bad kids, and the bad kids influence the good kids, and vice versa. It's no different for you as an adult. This is why you need a level of accountability and support if you want to get to the other side and stay there. You need to be around people that are like-minded, who are moving forward as well. Stuck people stay stuck, and they keep everyone around them stuck, kind of like crabs in a bucket. One starts to move out and they pull it back down. Now, I've seen friend groups do this. Like I don't know about you, but I've seen friend groups when like one of the friends starts to do well, they're like, oh, Sarah's on her diet kick. Oh, Sarah's too good for us now. Oh, Sarah, you changed. You don't want to go out with us anymore. Like that's crabs in a bucket right there. But then a lot of times things even get said passively that may not be intentionally hurtful, but we become like those we associate with. So you have to audit who you're around. And I'm not saying like kick all your friends to the side, but you need to be around people who have what you want and who are moving forward and who can support you. Okay. Number 2, underneath accountability and support is, I kind of already touched on it, is we sabotage our environment a lot. This is why a lot of people will go to like a seminar or go to an event and do great, feel amazing. Then they go back home to their environment, and then all of a sudden those behaviors go south. It's why people will go get amazing results with whatever the case is, and the program's done, and they'll go back to their environment, and then the old behaviors come back in. Is because you cannot out willpower your shitty environment. It's not possible. And like maybe there's a couple people that can, but the majority of us can't, because it's how powerful our environment is. There's like neurological reasons, and from a neuroscience standpoint on why this happens, there's maybe a conversation for a different time, but we always sabotage and become like our environment. It's why if your kids started hanging out with not so great kids, you're concerned. Well, why is it different just because you're an adult? It's not. Those fundamental pieces don't change. And then lastly, under accountability and support, we naturally drift when left to our own devices. Okay. As in, so many people will lose the weight, get to where they want to be. And then because our nervous system craves what's most familiar, and you get in your old environment, we naturally drift. we're naturally, as humans, we're naturally lazy. We naturally drift to what's easy. We naturally will get on the other side, but then we naturally go back to what used to be. This is why people subconsciously will always gain their weight back, where they get to where they want to be. Then one day they look up and they're like, how did I get back here? I've had conversations with people all the time who says, I've lost like 100 pounds 2 or 3 times. It's crazy, but it's because we naturally drift. This is why having support and accountability is so pivotal, so they can go, yo, you're doing it again. Hey, I love you, but you're drifting again. Hey, that kind of sounds like the old you. Hey, it sounds like you're making excuses. Hey, I thought we were going to do this. What's going on? If you really want to put your odds of getting to where you want to be and losing that 30 to 40 pounds and never struggling ever again, is you have to have some semblance of support and accountability. Otherwise, most people, if left to their own devices, are not going to make it. Okay. So those are the big 4. Those are your fat loss foundations. Recapping real quick is number 1 is setting yourself up for success. That looks like expectation, sustainability in your mindset and inner game. Number 2 is your nutrition, calorie deficit, high protein, whole foods, eating as much as possible while losing both carbs and fats, because you need both, and eating your favorite foods consistently. Number 3 of the foundations is training, which means your fundamental strength training and moving and walking as a whole. And lastly, number 4 is your accountability and support, as in we become like those we associate with, we sabotage because our environment's not very good and we always naturally drift. That's the 4 foundational pieces for fat loss foundations. Now, let me throw this out there. If you don't know how to figure out all of this, if you don't know how to figure out all of this, or you're struggling with these kind of things, I have something very special starting on the 21st. Yeah, the 21st, double checking my dates. On the 21st. So if you're listening to this, going back and listening to this at a different time, sorry, you missed out. But if you're a person who listens to the show, like when it drops and stays up to date with it, on the 21st, that's a week from when this is dropping. This episode is dropping, I believe, on the 14th, which means the thing I'm talking about, we're dropping it on the 21st, is something new that I've never done before. We're calling it Fat Loss Foundations. It's a 28-day framework. Okay. You guys know I'm not a big fan of challenges and things like this. So we're doing this a little bit differently. So like I said, starting the 21st of this month, August, we are launching what's called Fat Loss Foundations. It's a 28-day framework. Okay. Now my intention with this is a little bit different. Like as far as what I'm doing with this is I'm basically going to show you how to lose your next 30 to 40 pounds without hating your life and without gaining your weight back. That's what the Fat Loss Foundations is about. Is me and my team are putting together this 28-day framework that's going to go through all of this with you and teach you every single thing you need to know on how to lose your next 30 to 40 pounds. Of course, I'm never saying you're going to lose 30 to 40 pounds in 28 days. That's not what I'm saying at all. Is I want this to be a launch pad for you. I want this to be to get you started, get you momentum, and to get you on a launch pad of losing your next 30 to 40 pounds, and it never come back ever again, and you go and love your life. That's what we're talking about here. Now, again, my intention with this is a little bit different, because I wanted to work with me and my team did. We want to work with a group of people in a really intimate way that's totally outside of one-on-one coaching. Because the truth is, most people are not going to get into one-on-one coaching. It's a pretty good financial investment. You have to qualify to get into it, and there's just more hoops to jump through, and it's not as scalable because it's one-to-one and it's so exclusive. So I wanted to have a group where me and my team can hone in on this group in a really intimate way, and go through them over the next over 4 weeks to really, again, set them up on a launch pad into losing their next 30 to 40 pounds. So here's what's going to go into the group. Here's what's going to go into Fat Loss Foundations. And I have this all on a list so I don't miss anything. So if you see me looking to the side, that's what I'm doing. Number 1, so there's going to be actually a private group of only Fat Loss Foundations participants in. So we're not throwing this into the free group. We're not throwing this anywhere else. We're not throwing this into the content we're already making. We're putting these participants in a private group for only Fat Loss Foundations people. Okay, that way we can really hone in on them. Next, we're going to also be providing the right workouts. So like we talked about, you need those foundational workouts and things like that. We're going to be providing those. That way you're not having to worry about what you're doing. You're not going to have to worry about trying to figure it out or searching YouTube for what the best workouts are. Or is this even a foundational workout? None of that. we're going to give you specific frameworks around food this way that are going to put you in that calorie deficit while you're eating your favorite foods and showing you how to incorporate protein and whole foods and all of that stuff without spiraling out of control or missing out on your favorite foods or binge eating and things like that. So we're going to give you specific frameworks around food and how to approach that. There's also going to be accountability every single week because we're going to be doing live calls and trainings and lessons and Q&As and all these kind of things. This way, there's going to be accountability throughout the week. You're even going to get a few other, what I call deliverables, things like you're going to get like a habit tracker. You're going to get my quick lists, like a protein quick list or like a grab and go quick list, like these kind of like PDFs that we have that's going to make it easier for making food choices on the go and things like that. There's even going to be an option, totally optional. There's even going to be an option for those who want to upgrade to almost like a VIP setup to have actual one-on-one check-ins with a coach and who get like special VIP office hours with the coaches and things like that. So that's going to be an option for those who want a little bit more help and a little bit more attention. And on top of it, there's going to be a winner and there's going to be prizes and things like this. So it's going to be this cool thing. It's this whole process. Now, with all that being said, we are having to cap it because like I said, I only want to work with people who are a little bit more committed, who are a little bit more in this versus in the past when I've done like free challenges or whatever, like tons of people will sign up, but because it's a free low barrier to entry challenge, tons of people will fall off. I want this little cohort of people to be a little bit more serious so we can really lean in and dive in on this. So we are having a hard cutoff. I'm only allowing 50 people max. I'm not letting more than 50 people into this because it's going to be me, a couple of my coaches, and I do not want more than 50 people in this. So we are capping it in that way no one else can get in so we can keep it all in the lane of what we've been wanting. So what I'm going to do is to, if you want to be part of that, it's just $97 one time to be part of it. It's not like a reoccurring fee or anything like that. It's $97 to join and be part of it. And I wanted to let you guys know because I have a special place in my heart for podcast listeners. So that is what's on the table. I know that was a lot. That is what's on the table. So if you want to join and see if there's a spot left for this, there will be a link in the description where you can join, pay your $97 and join Fat Loss Foundations in this 28-day framework. And that is it. I know that was a lot. I apologize. That was a little bit long, a lot of information, but I wanted to give you all the data and all the details so you can decide for yourself what you want to do and show you exactly how to lose your next 30 to 40 pounds without your life sucking. So otherwise, that is it, my friends. I love you. I appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the show if you have not already. I will talk to you next time.